Hey guys, as usual, we're gonna be starting the stream in a bit. Just give us a few moments. Oh, guys, soon.
You had to be like, no, just he's getting that because the bartender was gonna punch him in the face.
Wait, what?
So he did get it. So did he ever?
I had a bottle of sake. We were sharing that. You know what's messed up? Who did I finish that bottle with? Was it you? Yeah.
I think it was only you two then.
And hello, there's a lot going on in the background, guys. It's your one and only. It's your it's your it's your certifiably pissed off character for today. It's Yo, and once again, I am joined with artists with a fro. They can't hear you though because I have the shit turned down because they're loud, so I'm waiting for.
Just here.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go. All right. So I'm gonna turn off my mic because I think they can hear us.
Let's double check. Yeah. Yeah.
all right. So they can pick up. So they're
They
picking
can
up
pick.
myself as well. All right. All right, guys. Everyone's voices is being picked up, just to let you know. So if you're not important, don't talk over me.
Legit. Okay, so I'll talk over you.
And we're getting that damn echo.
Oh, my sound's not on. Oh no, it was. Oh, now it's off, but I still hear the echo. It's like it's running.
Is that
It's like a tadpole. It's got those legs.
maybe now it's not echoing?
Shrink
Could have been
down
my.
that one
It could have been
leg.
picking up.
Probably.
All right, guys. On today's shut up. So on today's agenda for today, we'll actually
On today's agenda for today.
we'll be figuring out how to get this sorted for Android, and we're just gonna do some other general stuff. Trying to get it prepared. At this point, because really at this point, our major hurdle for now is making sure that it's playable on Android.
Yeah. Do I have my
Once-
my tablets over here?
Once we do that, then things become a lot easier actually, because then we can go in and start adding in more more features, but also kind of doing optimization along the way. So let's get started. Hopefully, I didn't install the Android SDK CodeWork stuff. I reinstalled Visual Studio Community, updated that with C++ architecture just in case. Restarted my computer. So the good news is that we do have it running for Mac.
Mm-hmm. Oh, all right. Yeah, they're still able to hear me. Yeah. So we're gonna run through the test right now on our CPO's computer and just make sure that it is able to connect to the tablet.
Sidebar, I like how we're matching.
Yeah, we do have the function working on the Mac, and I will do a video, or we might actually include that in the stream if we do have the time, just to show people how it looks. But for now, I'm going to ask you to just plug this in to your computer since it'll just start.
I have mine.
You have yours? Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, that's the whole point. Is I gotta check to see if it works.
Yeah.
Though, actually, what I was doing too, because all right. So here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
We know that it works with the whole launching directly from Unreal.
Yeah.
My thing is, I want to know if we can just package an APK
Yeah, you can.
that we can share.
Yeah.
Because that's the way I would want to do it. Is I want to package an APK, throw it on a drive, and you can download it.
Yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do that. I mean, I can do that now already, but I'll let you.
I am Doctor Strange.
I'll let you get yours on, because I already have APK builds of it
Cool.
on my computer. So
I mean, and then that would actually, because that'll be cool, because then we can actively test and edit as we go along.
exactly.
You know.
No, as soon as you
Cocaine? Wait, what?
the moment you
Stop. Cocaine blowjob?
Yep, and we are literally right next to each other.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for you to get your. You got to open up Unreal.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting for it.
Oh, it's. Oh, wow. Holy crap. That is a long waiting time.
This generally happens when I have several other things going on. Remember, my RAM's been shunted between my several dozen tabs,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a problem. So, and hopefully it's loading up. So hopefully it'll work.
The day you deliver our $10,000 payment in the suitcase, I'm gonna take it. And I'm like, I quit.
10,000. You're gonna quit on 10,000?
Yes.
You gotta get that 100
No, he's
million.
a man. Just wants his 10,000 to go.
What you gonna do with 10,000? Buy one hooker?
Oh, like it's just like
A good one is expensive. If you want a clean virgin hooker,
Wow. That's kind of asking for a lot, but. All right. So once once our CPO gets Unreal up on his computer, then we'll go through the entire process. We're using the Unreal Android Quick Start tab right now. However, it is a bit. Huh? He kind of. Sorry, it is a Pokemon reference. So what was I saying? Something about the build.
Oh no.
Getting it on the computer, tablet, Unreal.
I don't care what.
See, now I totally forgot. I was saying something. Damn.
Thanks, Tom.
love you.
Fuck you too.
I mean, I probably should learn.
Yeah, you didn't take me out to dinner.
Yeah. So anyway, as we get Unreal working, we are going to test everything out, and then we're going to make sure that it is able to be saved in an APK for future testing for like other devices that we have, iPhones, etc.
Yeah, and then the thing, and even though it's art, most of the stuff is primarily art related, but we'll also have to take into account the scaling that's going to happen, because I think that's one thing that, like, we can make the stuff app for PC,
Yeah.
but we also have to take into account the mobile side of things, and with the mobile, there comes a lot of reductions in everything, from lens flare, bloom, reduced textures, all that stuff. So that's something we're going to have to definitely kind of touch base later on in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Because the company's gonna go under. I'll just switch to something. I'll just jump somewhere else. So that's what we can do. Because that's.
So what I'm doing right now, and I know you guys can't see this, but on my computer I'm just making a folder for the Android APKs from my end.
See, that's the question. See, yours doesn't make it like
It does, but I'm doing everything backwards right now.
because I remember because when I was the few times I've tried to dish out an APK,
It puts it in a
it would
specific
make it.
spot.
Well,
yeah.
I used to put it on desktop, and it would
Mhm.
make a folder, but nothing would be in it.
Mm.
You know, and I would get that error sign. So
That sounds boring.
That
sounds really boring.
It's packaging on my end, and you have Unreal open. Okay.
yeah, it should be.
My ends.
There we go.
Go work on movies. Yeah, that's.
It's not easy to find.
There we go. It's opened.
Now I'm moving the camera.
All right. So bring it over here.
It's being lit.
That's why we can't find jobs. You can't even speak English.
The opportunities are going to be huge, especially because, especially because everybody wants just more.
So now, just to make sure, I'm making sure, that my settings are prim and proper.
Yeah, go to packaging. No,
I can
yeah, no,
already
you're
see-
right. Go to packaging settings.
I can already see here that the settings I did before are in effect.
Mm-hmm.
So these have exclamation marks near them, indicating that
Oh, yeah.
there's something wrong with it, or that they're not checked. What do you want, Lawrence?
Shut him out. Promoting.
So once you pull up, or once it comes up, rather, the packaging settings, then we'll be able to see exactly what. Okay, there it is. So the first thing, yeah, you want to make sure that it is for development, full rebuild, and include debug files
Yep.
checked. You're going to go to supported platforms.
Yep.
Next to it,
here,
Make sure
and
your
it's
Android is the only thing.
which is weird and interesting if you think about it, because
Yeah.
it's like
It's like Unreal originally tries to make a build for all of them.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go for target hardware. And we're,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to target hardware. Yeah, so you're
Yeah,
good.
it's good. And then target hardware is already set for
Okay.
mobile.
Yeah.
Which is once again, it's that weird thing because I originally
Yeah,
had
you
it on
can't do a
max and
max.
quality,
Yeah.
which probably could have been the issue. So
Yeah, so scroll all the way down,
Android.
platforms, yep,
this
and
is
that's
already
good.
set.
Yep,
Everything's prim and proper.
yeah, everything looks good.
Don't have
That
to
yeah,
worry
because
about
we're not sending it to Google yet. That's
These
for
are good.
icons.
These are
That's for
good.
loading horizontal
And
images.
I
I actually
checked
didn't even
here.
know that. I didn't
What?
scroll down far enough to realize that it had the icons there. I thought that those you have to make somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's
Is they
interesting.
already have the icons, but you can actually
Like upload your own.
you can upload your own, which is
Mhm.
makes things a lot easier.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the things that I like about Unreal as opposed to the previous engines we've had. They make a lot of these things
That's
a
interesting.
bit
That's
easier
really
to do because now
Hmm.
this stuff is already set. If you think about it, this stuff is already set for when we put it on the stores.
Mhm.
So Android match.
Yeah, that's all good.
This is good.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So now
So when you go up to, all right, if you go to where it says launch,
Launch.
you're gonna click on yep,
this one,
and then
you'd say,
your thing would have to be connected, and then it would come up. It would
But
show up
that's-
right above the
now that's the thing.
Chrome
Do
section.
I have to have it connected? Can I just go to package
You
project?
can go to
and
package
then
project. That
ETC?
should work. Yes. I'm trying that actually right now. So don't do that yet because we're gonna find out if it works.
Because I've been doing it. This is how I've been just trying to go to ETC
one.
and packaging it from there.
Yeah.
But no.
And so for our viewers, if you can bring that screen back up again.
Yes. What, this one?
Yeah, so the difference is that it has right there where it says ASTC, PRV, RTC, DXT, et cetera, et cetera. Those are just basically different engines that are running on different Androids because you don't only have phones and tablets that run on the Android-based system. Some computers use it.
Yeah.
Some consoles tend to use it as well. And you just want to make sure that you're sending it to the right device. And ETC1 is more or less the generic
one. Yeah.
or default, sort of engine that most Android devices run on. So that will work for phones, tablets, and proprietary game engines, or game sort of consoles rather, or third-party consoles. So once we make sure that everything's there, And once, like, let's say you reconnect the tablet, you would then go back up to where the launch settings are, and just select the phone.
And that's the thing. I first time around when I was trying to do this, I did go through the whole launch.
Are they able to see that?
What I'm looking at now?
Yeah.
My Facebook?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember I have it.
I was about to say, I'm like, you might not want to show that,
No.
They might know your real name.
right? And then they'll find you.
And well,
His
maybe.
real name's Darren Thunderthorpe.
Middle name is Jason.
No, my
Piece of
actual.
switch.
No, my name is Han.
Han?
Han Duo.
No, you don't get the reference.
Han Solo?
No,
No, Star Trek 2 when he did that.
Oh,
stupid acid
Khan.
drill.
Oh, got it. I was like, what? All right, so the build is completed on mine. And
Really?
It looks like it was done in 3 minutes and 53 seconds.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And there's UTC-1 and there's the APK. Yep.
So I'm going to now, mind you, he's working on a Mac.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on PC. So as much as I love PCs, you're obviously going to end up with some sort of fuck up along the
Yeah.
way.
But PCs are technically better.
So-
Not to sort of crap on my own computer, but it's
ETC1?
just like, yeah, ETC-1.
All right.
It's not a fight.
And
PC Master Race.
You're missing some of the required components. Even if you have installed SDK already, there may be some missing components. Or environment fair. Oh, this is why. Go into exit out.
Yeah.
What you want to do is make sure you're on the right level that you want to load. So scroll down to where your levels are. If it's going to be,
Four.
I
level
think it
handcraft.
was- Yeah, we did it for space.
And then just take the second one. Oh, I suck on, yeah.
Well,
Any of them. You just got to load one of them. There might be additional stuff. Let me just make sure.
But
Let's
the thing it was giving us, telling us that we didn't have the necessary Android components. Do I have to go back to the SD? Like go back to?
No,
the
you shouldn't
Codeworks
have to.
and have to.
You shouldn't
sort
have
that?
to at all. And you don't have to name it either, because that was one of the things that I thought. But
Maybe.
that's for publishing. Yeah, you don't. It doesn't need to have a name or anything.
But I'm also where it's like match SD. Well, let's bring it up. So yeah, here where it was saying, what's the Android?
Mm-hmm.
Android SDK. Here where it says match NDK and then NDK API level specific, is it possible that I don't actually have 19? Because when we were going through setting it up, I'm quite sure it loaded the latest one, right? Or did it load
Android
19?
SDK. Android. I have match. I have the same thing, except it's not showing ANT any of that. You don't need any of the location files.
So
The only
let's-
ones that you needed were the first 3 from the CodeWorks.
Oh, so let's delete this.
Yeah. And you also need to make sure that your Java is.
That I mean.
That was the one.
Yeah.
That's one of those things that always shows up on my output log. It's like, oh, this is not the right version. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Until I've downloaded Java.
But I
which is
did
8.
that. I know I did.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, but the thing is, I feel like these should be filled in some sort. But fuck it.
Let's try it again.
So it's loading shaders.
Yeah, so it's still putting stuff in your. That means that if it's doing that, then that might be the output log. So if you can pull that up, can you move the app?
No, I mean, I just remembered we have this set for mobile now.
Yeah.
So it's having to recompile all of those shaders. I
Yeah,
made.
yeah, it's gonna do that.
So yeah, that's
It's gonna take a while.
Take a,
Oh no, never mind. Because you already changed it, so you don't have to exit and then start it over.
yeah. Go back to
Package project. And yeah, let's see. You're missing some of the components for Android game creation. If you have installed the SDK already, there's still some missing components and environmental variables. Let me check, because now we're getting into the differences in Macs and PCs. Let's pull this up. On a Windows computer, we're going to look for packaging. So yeah, it tells you that, yeah, you need the SDK base. Wait. You can see. Internet connection, SDK base.
Go back up.
Yes. So this is the one that you downloaded.
Yeah.
Okay. And then once it finished installing, and then it says, yeah, you're completed. Let's see. This is to put it on a phone. We don't need that yet. Or media device. This is the project we created. And this is deploying the level. Let me make sure that's just to make sure that it shows up, which it does.
Well, I just went to because having tried to do this before, I'm going to show you on the screen now. I went to the SDK manager, and it shows that there's some updates available.
Maybe.
So I'm thinking maybe I have to do that. But also, you saw where it says, see where it says here? And was the file. All right. So with packaging, Android SDK, right? Where it says indicate API level 19, Android 19, whatever. Like maybe there's something in here that I didn't do, or
I don't know. Like this is the weird part because it's not saying, like, even in the tutorial here, it doesn't even show that you need to have those things checked off.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
Yeah. So but that means there's also
Android HTC1, yeah, it shows the things in. For this section you need to have anyway. In order to process, needs to be packaged. Finish your package project. You're currently in development. File, texture. You'll be prompted then for a location to save your packaged game. For now, create a folder on a desktop and call it whatever, Android build.
let's so Unreal Engine PC Android sets.
Oh, excuse me. It's showing that it has all the same stuff. It does say right here, you must have your Android device plugged into your development PC via USB to deploy the project to your device, but that's only if you're putting it in your tablet or phone. It should package it pretty much just fine.
And yeah, shout out to all the links I'm clicking on. I mean, hurrah for them. But this is weird. Because after installing Java, you pretty much were set.
Yeah, that was the last thing that I had to do because the previous Java that it was saying was like 7 or 6, and I was like, we're up to 8 by now.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like Flash. I don't remember ever like updating them. To be honest.
So I would say try to see if you can get it on your tablet now before we try to package it, because we already know that the Mac is able to surprisingly do everything. And this is honestly just going to have a lot of the repeat information for what is shown here.
Oh, that sucks.
If you want to get everything else, you got to pay us.
Set launch.
Yep. And you see that's my main concern, is that it's using builds that are like 4.7,
Yeah.
etc., and we're up to like 4.14.
Go to menu project settings.
Yep, we configured it. Yep.
And this is what I meant.
Your project. Oh, that's
And then
interesting.
configure the path.
I did not have to do that.
Latest Android 14. So I'm like, that's easy to do. I know where they are.
Hmm.
And actually, this is for Mac. Well, so for Mac too.
That's interesting. And then everything goes up, and then it shows you your project name, and then it shows you where it shows up on the phone.
So you know what?
You gotta make
Maybe the links were not need to be redone. Oh, okay. I keep forgetting.
It seems like we have some guests in the chat. We're gonna see if we can respond to any of the questions and/or comments that people are putting. So let's find out.
Connect your device. Maybe. Yeah. Just give me a moment. I'm getting to the chat. Oh, okay. It's like every time we do this, I have to have to update the chat app.
Mm.
But yeah. All right. So.
I would say just try to see if we can get it on your phone first, or your tablet
Well, I'm
rather.
waiting. I gotta wait for
Oh,
it to download.
Jesus,
First.
that's gonna take a while.
Well, and not necessarily. And while that's, let me package setting. Right. So Android SDK. PC.
Hmm. It's just a sidebar. Make sure you, if you guys have any questions in regards to anything that we're doing, we usually do answer or respond to most of these on our Twitter as well as our Twitch, all under the same name, Goodnight Games or Goodnight Games NY. We do have an Instagram as well. Be sure to follow us there, where we post regular pictures about like some of the games that we're working on, some of the engines that we use, and then just side stuff just to show you guys how we work or what the work environment looks like over here. We're coming up on what, 3, 4 years, 5, 4? I don't know. 3 years, 4 years,
3 years of what? Being
4
together?
years. How long have we been together? How long? I'm talking to other people. I'm looking
I've been
across.
here too, and I think I came a year or two after you started.
Yeah.
So
4 years
Yeah.
ago.
it's 3, 4,
Been here for about around the same time. I would
You've
say.
been here a little longer than me.
Yeah.
and
You've been here
then
closer
there's
to 3, I think.
I've been here longer than you guys, and then
Sean's been here
existed
4.
for about 4
Donald's
years.
been
4
longer.
years. Wow.
Donald's been here longer than
So you've
Actually,
been here like 3.5.
because I
Donald's
came
been-
around. I think it was a year after you guys became a company.
Oh,
I think so,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Yeah,
We're
so-
almost.
So you started around the same time.
we're almost
as
at what, 4 or
We've
5 years?
existed like 4
You started
years
a little
now.
after Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
That's
it's like
impressive. That is-
it's been a solid
Oh,
minute,
jeez.
man.
Damn, time flies.
really
Well, I mean,
crap.
that's amazing. That's the wonderfully amazing thing
Holy
about it,
crap.
right? Is the fact that oh, thanks, Restream. Yes, we use Restream. Oh, hey there. Wait, we have a question. So, this is Zenit. Maybe you can say the name. It's like Zenitatas.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry
a
for
Fonte.
butchering your
It's
name.
Fonte.
I'm terrible. I am terrible.
Yeah, we know who it is.
But it
though.
says if one wanted to begin making games as an independent, where would you recommend they start in terms of self-teaching? Like what programs are recommended? Also, should I comment or Twitch or YouTube?
In regard, okay, so yeah, in regards
wait.
to, so you're
So
gonna
your
answer,
last,
you'll answer
I'm
the,
gonna go back. I'm gonna go
Okay.
backwards. You can comment either whichever platform you wish is easier for you. We'll see the comments regardless.
yeah, the best one to use though for now would be Twitter, just because you can
Well,
fill in about 121.
I think they mean now, like
Oh.
Twitch or YouTube. I would say
Oh, okay.
if you want if you want immediate feedback right now, you can do Twitch.
Mhm.
But if you have comments or anything that you want to put just in general, you can put it on YouTube. It
Yeah.
really doesn't matter. But we see you.
Yeah, and it's just so that way you guys know that we are still responsive because the streams are up every Tuesday, and then you still have that buffer time between Wednesday as I was saying before, you still have that buffer time between Wednesday and next Tuesday to ask us questions on Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Yeah.
Um,
But let's see. So, all right. So this seems like a what threefold question, if you will. This is for Kai. Repeating it for Kai. Is,
Yeah.
If one wanted to make make games as an independent,
mhm.
where would you recommend they start in terms of self-teaching, and what programs are
Oh.
recommended? So this is one of those funny cases where I'm gonna and I know he's gonna give me some evil looks, boss man, but I'm gonna actually let the artist of the fro, you know, placate just for 3 minutes to this answer. Go.
All right. So then I guess.
Love you too.
So the first thing that you need to figure out is just what type of game are you making. If it's a 3D based game, then you would want to stick to the 3D based engines such as Unreal and Unity. If it's more 2D based with let's say sprites and that type of animation, then you can stick to Game Maker, Construct 2D, Game Salad, etc. Once you figure out what type of game you're making, then it's a lot easier, and sort of what platform you're going to be sending it to. If you already said for mobile, then all of these do work for the mobile engine. But once you decide what type of aesthetic and or play style you're going to try to create with your game, it's a lot easier to determine the engine. So once you have that down, you've already figured out your engine. Your next thing that you should be doing is going to YouTube and then finding out which channels talk about tutorials with that engine. They'll have like a sort of playlist with the basics, like on how to get started, how to use the UI, how to set up the most basic of games, doing buttons, so on and so forth. And then a lot of the other stuff is kind of like self-experimentation. You have to sort of try things out on your own. Like, let's say you want to have your character do something or have a screen do something that's probably not in traditional gaming, then you need to sort of test that out on your own. Or the flip side of that is you can use references to games that you've either played before and then try to figure out how to replicate those same actions in the engine that you're using. One of the easiest things I would say for mobile-based gamers to do, or mobile-based game developers to do, is to pretty much follow anything that was created in the 80s or early 90s. We're talking like Nintendo, Atari, Sega, Capcom, etc. Most of those games have been transformed into the mobile games that we know today. If you look at WarioWare, for example, if you take out like 10 of those games or 10 of those little like mini games, half of them have been turned into mobile games such as Flappy Bird, Temple Run,
Hell,
Candy
even,
Crush,
like,
etc.,
Bubble was
etc.
like,
Yeah,
Brick Breaker or Bubble Burst,
yeah.
those games that were apparently technological achievements back in the heyday, even
Mhm.
just for say the PlayStation 1, right? They've been turned into simple mobile games.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hijack this for a minute. I'll probably repeat the same thing he's saying, but I guess I'll go a different course. I personally would say the suggestion I would give you is to um, find someone else who's also interested in what you're doing. Because what this does is, I mean, there's oftentimes you may hear, it's hard to rely on someone else, or, you don't like to work with people, whatever. What I find is, even if you find just another person to work with you in this project, kind of riffing off back and forth with each other helps uh, and kind of streamlining ideas, getting ideas, seeing what works, what doesn't work, and also helps as far as motivation. It's always nice to literally have someone say, "Hey, we can do this. We just got to go a little bit further, or we got to, we got just one more thing to go." It just helps to have that physical voice nagging at you, if you will, saying, "Hey, we can do this," and you'll do the same, and you'll both get something out of it. If you're doing it as a hobby or a side project, there's not too much commitment into it, but there's enough commitment to where you both can benefit from it at the end. And say, if you're just doing primarily modeling and coding, and they're doing particle effects and music, you guys can both take some away from it and use it for your portfolios. That's kind of a roundabout answer to your question. To your question, programs I would recommend. Start with things that you can get from, if you're in university or whatever. Start there. 3D modeling programs like Maya. I think that's industry standard right now. But Max is also used for architectural purposes. Blender is free if you want to go that route. Hell, you can use SketchUp, Trimble or Google SketchUp, if you
Mhm.
will, for modeling. GIMP is like the free man's version of Photoshop.
It is. Yep. You also
No.
have Fire Alpaca.
Yeah.
As well.
And this is the one. This is very few times I will actually do an endorsement. But look up. There's a site called Lifehacker, and they list a number of free programs that you can use if you're an artist, that you can use for making digital art,
Mhm.
music, sound effects,
Etc. Yeah.
modeling, the
Yeah.
the entire 9 yards.
Yeah.
Going back to what Kai said earlier, if you're interested in art, or sort of if you're interested in game design, I think you should also be interested in art in some form or manner, right? So not only should you be following game designers on whatever platforms is easier for you, I find YouTube to be one of the best platforms, and regardless of what many people say, because a lot of artists will actually sit there and stream their process, which often helps in you figuring out your own process and seeing what works and what doesn't work. Um, but also, Twitter, Instagram, those things where they
Mhm.
post their art, and you
Mhm.
can kind of get that reference too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you pretty much hit it on the nose. So yeah, just to reiterate, find the engine that works best for the
you.
game style that you're trying to create.
And for you.
Yeah, and
That's
for
the
you
thing.
as
That's
well.
for you. It's like think short term, but also think long term. Think if you're using a game engine, if you decide to get a game engine that's set for you right now, and that's something that's easy, and you're primarily focusing on delivering content material,
Mhm.
and you just want to get a story out there, also keep in mind, is this a viable option? A few months down the line,
Mhm.
can I still use this to make something a bit more expansive? Can I use this to make Final Fantasy 15 and not just another Undertale?
Okay.
Think in terms of think in terms of like that.
A longevity of
Yeah, think
how
of longevity.
the engine works.
Because
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the situation that we had to deal with,
Mhm.
was that we were utilizing an engine that we, for all intents and purposes, we've outgrown. We've hit a sort of a wall as far as what we can do with it, and looking to kind of expand what we're good at, our niche of
Yeah.
kind of like almost in a sense fucked up yet humorous yet slightly dark type of games. We the engine that we were utilizing kind of just kind of hit the bump, and we couldn't use it anymore.
Mhm. Mhm.
But it was a good run, and I think that's another thing too, is you have to find out what your niche is. Experiment.
Yeah.
That's one thing I would say, is experiment with all manners of games, whether it's platformers, endless runners,
Side scrollers,
shooters,
shoot 'em ups, etc.
experiment with what you're comfortable with, and what you believe is going to maximize your effort at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Exactly.
and then another tip that you could do is you could also play the games that you like.
Yeah.
And then try to figure out what they do to make their games work, and then sort of try to find out how you can do those in the engine that you're using.
I think that's an excellent. Actually, I believe that to be one of the a very excellent exercise is, and if you, I think,
thank you. I came up with the idea myself.
yes.
Thanks.
if any of you are are reviewers of art, I think you'll notice that when you if you're a CG major, if you're a movie major, if you're an artist, a painter, a photographer, you tend to start to notice things and wonder, how did that person do it?
Mhm.
As I think as CG majors, we'll often sit in a film and we'll look at the story's great, the explosions, all that stuff, but how many times have we sat at a film and we're like, damn, that texture looks really good. How do they do that walk cycle?
Yeah.
Do that. That's a wonderful exercise, and especially in game development, is wondering, how do they do it? How can I do it? And how can I do it in sort of the cheapest manner, but yet produce the same effects?
Mm.
And I think that's what That's kind of the deal with mobile gaming is trying to or attempting to make sort of, and I hate to use this phrase, but attempting to make AAA experiences in a cheap manner.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yep. Uh, yeah. So I mean, that was a very long
It was.
response, but I think that was a good question. I definitely like answering those types of questions for those that are really interested.
Yeah.
Again, you can also follow us on YouTube, where this Twitch will find its place. And there are other channels that you can watch as well. The Artist with the Fro is one of them. There's the Unreal Devs. There's another one. There's Jamie Cross. There's thousands of tutorials. Linda. All of those. Anything that you could find in regards to what you're trying to work with.
Achieve,
Yeah.
I mean, and hell, if you want, like, we can take some time out of our schedule and sort of kind of do a small little tutorial for something that you're interested in.
Yeah. So we take requests.
Retake requests. So if you're interested in, how do I do this? How do I do that? We'll take some time to try to distill the information in sort of layman's terms so that you can understand, and then you can go out and do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. Hopefully Malevolent Machines will be out soon. We're working hard on it. Well, they're working hard on it.
Yeah, so we do have, it's going to release 2017.
It's releasing February 7th.
So the ball,
February 7th.
the ball
That's our
man
exact
was to-
date,
was to
then.
ensure
Okay.
that
You idiots.
I didn't say jack shit.
Hey,
Okay?
hey,
Keep up on
I
the
mean-
Instagram. You got the
That
news,
wasn't-
current
I
news
mean, you
every
don't
day.
wanna-
We're over here in the trenches focusing on Never Go Home.
Yeah, we
Sorry.
just don't.
February 7th.
February 7th.
Instagram for information.
Instagram. For
My name is
information.
Langston, and I hate you both.
We love you, Langston.
I don't.
And my name is Jay Hoop.
So right now, as you guys see, compiling shaders and processing.
Yeah.
Processing for the Android.
So if you guys want to see what's exactly happening on the computer, if you tap on the show output log, we can actually view and make
you
sure.
can see the data being.
Yeah.
You
Just
see the
give me a
data.
second.
The data being parsed here.
So the one thing that we're looking for, so the output log is basically showing us where the game's going to be placed, where the game is going to find itself on the device, if everything is up and running, if the device is unlocked, and then it'll also check everything within the actual game itself to make sure that like all of the shaders are working, all of the
I think
actors are working, et cetera, et cetera. And we're basically going to wait until it shows us either something yellow or something red. That way we know that we can pinpoint exactly what needs to be fixed.
I think I botched it.
So it doesn't show that.
It closed.
That's fine. That's fine. It's not showing us anything yet. It is still saving the memory to the Android itself. And as you can see over on the far left side, it's going to show you the log save package. It's showing us how many milliseconds it is taking for each different package. And this one the one that it's on currently is taking quite a while. So once that one's done, it'll probably bring up the Java C program again, and then it'll show you the last thing that it will show is a percentage. Sorry, I'm covering the bottle with my face. I'm covering my face with the bottle. It'll show the percentages.
The bottle with your face.
It'll show the percentages of the build as it's making its way to the device.
The cool thing I like about this too is that oftentimes, if you're a programmer, you would
You
have
can
to
scroll up. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, yeah,
You
no.
can scroll up
is that
while
you would have to.
while we're waiting. So we do have something there.
You're exporting a tutorial character with your cook. This is down.
That's fine.
We
That's
can
fine.
we get rid of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah. So as a coder, a programmer, coder, what have you, you would have to copy and paste this into a text document. Notepad++ is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have to copy and paste and then do a search for it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, in Unreal with the output log, you can actually do it right here. and
It's showing us that it can't find
see-
some of the assets for the bullets, but those seem to be the materials, as
Yeah.
it says over there. It says the particle systems, the materials for the bullets. So some of the effects aren't going to show up right now. But
we're
that's-
not using
yeah.
utilizing them at the moment anyway. So
Yeah.
that's something to keep in mind later on.
The fact that it's not showing us any build fail errors is pretty good.
It's
so
a
far.
good sign. Yes. Which once again makes it really, really, really peculiar that it's fine.
I think
don't
I
wanna-
think Tom wants you to repeat that word.
Peculiar. Peculiar. It's fine launching, but attempting to package gives it an error. So.
Hmm. I'm gonna borrow
Error.
your charger.
So while that's happening, was there anything that you wanted to show, or just kind of just?
No.
attempting to- Alright.
You can get out of the error, or you can you can open the output log again. But I was gonna say delete the error. That way we can see what's
Oh, see
currently
what's
happening.
going on.
Yeah, and see if that last one. Okay, so it's moved on. We're basically just gonna watch this until it gets up to the part where it's showing the percentages.
Well,
And the cool part is once it's done here, it'll automatically start up on the tablet.
Yeah. Now, did it save on the tablet?
Yeah,
Like it save on that?
like once the game starts working on the tablet, you can immediately unplug it.
See, that's it's. I mean, the days of having to sit there, compile a build and decompile the build,
Exactly.
and convert it to the
Yep.
Android. It
They're
don't have
over.
to necessarily do that because back with
That's mine? Okay.
back
I'm
with
sorry.
do we even want to say what engine we use?
Yeah. I think we can say what engine we were using before. I mean, most of our
Lawrence.
games, with the exception of
Do
Malevolent
you want us
Machines.
to say what engine we used prior?
Yeah.
So we used Game Salad. We used Game Salad previous, and one of the interesting things about it was that there was a lot of kind of workarounds and figuring out how to put it on to Android, and that had us doing with like sending it to Test Fairy, downloading the build, putting another build there, and it was a very long process.
Yeah.
What's interesting here, and this is kind of one of those things where, being stuck in a certain type of stuck in a way for so long,
Hmm.
you kind of like your mind explodes when this type of thing happens, and it's just like, oh, we can just plug our pad with some other stuff in it, but plug our pads into the computer and bada bing, bada
And just
boom.
test 'em, yeah.
It's ready to go.
Yeah, it's for those that are wondering in terms of how most game developers test their builds or test their alphas or their betas, etc. We usually have a proprietary device that we use, whether it be our computers, a tablet, console, etc., that we just have as our sort of dumpster for games and builds that we want to test out. The way that different engines sort of package their products is the challenge that we've had in the past. So with Game Salad, it's mainly an iOS-based engine. So the properties, the user interface, everything is a little bit different on the PCs. And it also means that when you try to send a build from a PC computer to a Mac computer, you have to either zip it up or compress it and then unzip it and reopen it and search for the exact file that you're using, which isn't bad at all, but it's actually a little bit more organized than most other engines that sort of exist in the let's say expanse of game engines. But it does mean that we're doing extra work just to open up the same file, just because we're using two different types of computers. So that's why you usually have one computer one computer to work on, or one set of computers to work on. But here we want to make sure that the engine that we're using is able to be used on both Macs and PCs. In the case of an emergency, like say my computer breaks down, we can still access. We can still access all of the files and functions
Oh, you're talking about the
on another
repository?
computer. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But I was also talking about like the fact that here at Goodnight Games, we do use multiple computers of
Yeah.
different operating systems just to make sure that the engine is able to work on both of them. That way, when we do, let's say, we decide to invest in a set of computers, we know which one
Yeah.
works best for the engine that we're using.
Well, I mean, it's one of those weird cases of we should all be consistent,
Mm,
but
mhm.
not being consistent kind of works out because we have a very set of devices in which we can test the apps on.
Yeah.
You know, we can easily call up the specs of each computer if need to be. We have a number of different mobile devices too. So it's like we have a range of Apple, Android, Mac, PC devices, and if there's a problem that happens on one of them but doesn't happen on the other, then it kind of becomes a little bit easier on our kind of our confidence, if you will, because it's not like it's failing on everything. It's just failing on one. We can go back and we can fix it. It makes it a little bit more, a relief. Say, okay, we're good 4 out of 5.
Mm.
Well, let's get that 5th one, but baseline 4 out of 5, we're pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you hit it on the nail. Let me just.
Still packing it. I think that
It's actually moving. It's moving because it's went from 13 to 29 to 14, showing that it's saving different things.
Where?
On the
I
on
see
the
it,
yeah.
Well, can I do anything?
Yeah. So for those that are interested, the game that we're working on, as we've stated in the previous the previous streams that we've done, is Unreal Engine. The game that we're making currently, Malevolent Machines, will be released on February 7th. That game is being made in let's say Goodnight Games. That game is being made in Game Salad. And yeah, we right. So we're using 2 different engines, and we're slowly transitioning to moving away from Game Salad, just to work in a more 3D based environment. But we are still going to use it for, let's say, like little mini games that we might want to make on the side that we might have for you guys. So you never know. We might be getting 2 games come February 7th. We do have some secret projects that we're working on. Super secret. I mean, I guess they're not a secret anymore if I've talked about them.
We're not. If you say anything about.
Oh, I don't even have to. I don't even have to. Let's see if you remember the name.
I swear to God.
Actually, wait, no, because now there's more than one. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
There is a game, though, that we have made that we are looking for more feedback on, and we sort of need to get it to reach a certain quota. So the game is called Blitzbreaker. It is one of the Goodnight Games creations that we've had, and we are looking for feedback because it's one of the games that we are working on making a sequel to.
Right.
So if you are interested in being one of the contributors to the sequel, or to sort of the sequel process, I would say go on the Android, go on the Google Play Store, go on the Apple Store, and make sure that you check out Blitzbreaker, because whatever feedback you guys are able to input in that will most likely make its way into the sequel that we do have planned for it. But without that input, we can't produce a sequel.
I can feel the boss man's energy.
Oh no, he's happy
And
about
it's
it.
like-
He's all on board.
You know what the deal is.
And
Right?
it's like,
Yeah.
and he's like, it's like I could feel that he wants to strangle this artist over here, but then he's like, you know
No.
what? Fuck it. I can't even like. Front.
No, that was
Like,
a.
he-
involved in this.
he-
It was.
No, it's amazing because it's like, you know what?
We overhauling
He
it.
got the balls. Was so.
Me and Mr. Artist with a Pro, we taking that over.
Yeah.
But we still need your feedbacks.
Yeah. So that
Oh,
is.
what are you gonna
So
be called?
that's the main game that we're working on. He's Twitchy Tom. He's Twitchy Tom. This is Twitchy Tom. While we're on Twitch, Twitchy, you gotta come over here so we
Yeah.
can show you. Don't do that.
Don't do
Please
that.
don't do
Don't do that.
Please don't do that. His name is Twitchy Tom because we're streaming it on Twitch, not because he has a condition.
Yeah,
not that we're bashing anyone. I'm gonna just shut up. I'm gonna just let him show.
Shut up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
We
boys
present
and
to
girls,
you
humans of all.
Yeah, he was here
ages.
last week, but the official.
I'm gonna move my chair over that way you guys can have
the
him
official
pull up right next to
the
me.
official reveal of Tom
Twitchy
Twitchy
Tom.
Tom.
This camera.
You're looking
It
at mine.
doesn't-
Yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah.
we can just get you. Well, there we go.
You're looking at my camera because
There
now
you
you're
go.
looking off screen, or
Yeah.
I guess you're looking at his camera
It
because
doesn't
he's
matter.
now
Oh,
showing.
somebody bought one Blitzbreaker on
Oh, there you go.
Just from that.
up to 21.
Because it's a good game,
Yeah.
which we're gonna make better with your feedback. And the
Tommy
second,
Twitchy Tom.
second version. So
The one and only. Our one and only. Not
So
our
he's-
Lord and
yeah.
Savior.
So, what has been your experience, Tom, in working with the previous engine? Since we're on the topic of engines and game development, your experience with Good Night Games again. Your experience with Game Salad. What did
I like
just
the
give us like a general summary.
I like the engine. It's mostly pretty simple, but
Mhm.
you can make it do complex things. You just have to work a bit at it.
Okay.
But yeah, you could do a lot with the engine.
Okay.
Simple is good sometimes.
How was it easy for you to grasp some of the ideas in terms of like the functions, or I would say, how did your learning process go when you were just getting
Trial
started?
and error. A lot
Okay.
of trial and error. But I feel like it's easy to figure out what you did wrong and move on from there
Mhm.
or make a better product.
Hmm. And so, what games have you worked on in regards to?
I think Game Salad.
Yeah, in regards
Like
to Game
coding?
Salad. Yeah. Of the games that we've created.
Blitzbreaker,
All right, so we got that one.
bit with Namaste,
Namaste Buffalo.
tiny
Yep.
bit.
Hmm.
Malevolent coming out, you could prototype like that.
All right.
And what else? Anything else?
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
I mean,
do
like,
learning.
yeah, like you've definitely made
Yeah.
some personal projects on the side.
Mhm.
But yeah, okay. So then I would say then my other question would be, when you're trying to find out things that maybe Game Salad doesn't have, how do you go about creating those new functions or those new sort of actions in your own games?
Try to find the functions that will work for part of it and combine them, see how that works. And then it's just a little bit of not twitching, but
Tweaking.
tweaking.
There we go.
Tweaking the certain parts just to make it all work together. Yep, twitching in here. That's my word.
Gotcha.
That's
All right. So I'm gonna ask.
So we've known Tom for a very, very, very long, for
Quite a while, 5
oh
years?
my god, for a
Wow.
long time.
Oh my gosh,
my-
half a decade.
Oh my shit. Oh my goodness.
I was 18.
All right.
when
So
I met
before we
you.
start aging ourselves, can you bring up the output log again? That way we can see
Now I'm a father.
what is happening on what is happening on the thing. So it has moved. It's moved a bit. We were last at 14.29. We passed the 6, 34, 6, and 4. And we're still waiting for it to show up on the more or less to show us the percentages for the Android device. One of the things that was weird though when I was first uploading to my tablet was that it wasn't going to send it, or originally it wasn't going to save it in its internal storage, but it did pick up on the fact that I did have an SD card in here, and then it automatically sent the game to that.
How much is the SD card charge?
This one was like $10,
Oh wow.
and it's 8 gigs.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You need to pick up one of those. I've been so remiss in doing it because like the internal storage is good enough.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, at some point probably should go ahead and get an SD card for it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would say, again, for any of those that are interested in sort of getting into mobile-based games, having a device aside from your computer and aside from your own phone, just because you don't want to sort of like fill your phone up with game builds,
Yeah.
have a device
A
that you can
dedicated
use,
device,
to just develop dev kits for or sort of builds for.
I mean,
Most tablets online can cost about $40 to $30 to
just go to your local
$40.
Best Buy and there's
Yeah.
a tablet there that's $40. Trust me, it's solid.
Yeah, and then you can buy proprietary disk space
Discuses?
for the tablet that you're using. That way it can hold up more memory.
Wait, Discus?
Um,
You're still using Discus?
Actually, I mean, we all do still have computers that do have disk drives. So you never know. We might be releasing a game to
On the discus?
yeah. So it does say that it's done saving the package, which means that the next thing that it should be moving on to is either the percentages or it'll show the updates for everything that is going to be sent to the tablet.
Yeah.
So now we're pretty much just waiting, and if
There's a level of anxiety here
Yeah.
because I'm like I've done this several times.
yeah, so this is the
And-
part where it can either say the build has failed or the build has succeeded. And if it says build failed, then we can automatically cancel it. Sorry, moving closer to the camera. We can automatically cancel the build, but if it doesn't, if it says that it's finished, then that means that we are in business and we have successfully packaged a game from our Windows computer to our Android device.
I mean, it's something. I just like just going back. There's something kind of like I said.
It's like watching the moon landing, right?
I mean, with the big screen and everything, and we're just we're just at our terminals and we're just kind of like waiting for that call back and just.
It's like you're in the fourth quarter of a football game or the ninth inning of a baseball game. So you
Yeah.
talk sports here too, and you're just waiting for that last goal and or home run. You know, so you, like that thing might hold you over.
I mean, the Doyers, they were all good, right? The Doyers, they
What?
had it.
Yeah,
The what? The what?
The
Those
Doyers.
Yankees,
The
man.
Doyers. The Yankees.
Those Yankees.
Oh goodness. But yeah. So yeah. No, I'm just saying, there's something almost kind of like definitely exciting, but it's once we get over that hump, right?
Mhm.
It's something like not just relief, but excitement. I think the fact that we're over this milestone,
Yeah.
and
Where
we
we at,
get
8
to
games?
keep moving.
Yeah, I think we're at 8. I think we are at 8 games.
Be number 9,
And then we got other stuff that could be number 10.
And that's,
Yeah.
I mean,
And not even this one. Like we have
yeah.
another
I
one.
might-
like I don't want to turn this
12,
into not to turn this into like a GG achievement stream, but just thinking back in hindsight of just like what we've managed to accomplish. Maybe not everything we wanted to do, but just to manage to accomplish in what 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
How many games we released?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, great. Like I said, granted, not every one of them we're completely satisfied with.
Exactly. But it's one of those things that it's it's a few people have said this, and I will quote Jake Parker on this. He's a well-known artist, a great person. I met him in person at Comic-Con this year, actually. Really cool, really down to earth. But what he told me about previous projects was when you're working on something, getting it finished is more important than having it being perfect, because you're going to look back on these projects that you've done maybe a year or 2 years ago, and you're going to realize I've either transitioned to a point where I'm now better than at doing what I'm doing, where I can go back now and sort of fix what I've worked on. So don't worry about sort of the project or the games that you're making being perfect on the get-go, because they won't be. There will always be bugs. You'll always have people that just don't like them. You'll always have little minute details that can be changed. And this is like post-release, like after your game has already been out into the market. You'll release something and be like, damn, I should probably change that color for this character or for this button or something like that. But as long as you've finished it, as long as you've gone through the process of thinking about creating something, putting the time and effort into actually making sure that this project is worked on, and then making sure that it's seen or worked out all the way towards the end, that's more important than actually making sure that like your project is the most perfect thing in the world, because it won't be. Unless, actually, no, I'm not even going to say unless. It's just as long as you keep progressing in what you're doing, you will always make better stuff down the line. Or that should be more or less your goal, is to make something better than your past completion or your past finished project.
And I think with maybe the exception of 1 and 2, you can see a legitimate. Yeah,
Oh,
we can see a
Probably
legitimate.
making the second one.
We
I
can see
see. Oh yeah,
there's a
yeah,
legitimate
yeah.
course of improvement.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. As we
throughout all
said,
of our games.
yeah.
I mean, from the very first. Well,
Deathly Fathoms.
Deathly Fathoms, right? It was Deathly Fathoms, right? I think.
That was the first one.
Yeah,
that was
Deathly
the first
Fathoms
game.
from the first.
Going
that
back
first
into the
one?
logs, into
Yeah.
the Goodnight Games vault.
To the vault.
Right when it was a one man thing.
How does Disney do it?
We don't say that company, but
How does
as a
how
certain
does
company
Disney do it?
as a certain company does it, there's a vault that we have with all of the archives for all of our previous games.
And we're only releasing this once before it goes back.
Into the vault. That's good. That's pretty good.
Oh no, I gotta buy it now.
Yeah, right?
Throw it back into the vault.
Never before seen
Safe.
content.
It's not the vault. We have a safe.
We have a safe, yeah.
Sorry, we have
Lockbox.
A lockbox.
we have a
It's
we have
not
a
even-
PO box. We have
Yeah.
a PO box.
PO box.
Never before seen content.
Right?
The safe
This will
deposit.
only ever see once in your lifetime before we put it back into the random PO box we chose.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
sounds about right.
But
But I
Yeah,
would say that's one of those things that that works because, as I said before, we are working on making a sequel to Blitzbreaker, and we are giving you guys, the audience, the option to sort of give us as much input as possible. That way, we know what was either wrong or what
So we're not
was not
working
liked.
on a sequel to Blitzbreaker.
Oh,
You're
well,
only
well,
working on it if it reaches a certain point.
we're
We're working on it.
we're working on it, but whether or not it gets released is up to other factors. Anyway.
What have you done?
Working on it. That's the racing jerk, man.
What have
Anyway.
you done?
so apparently,
We are accepting
apparent-
feedback, but the only way that we can get feedback is if
Yeah, we gotta read.
we
the
sort of have you guys.
milestones.
Yeah,
So apparently by next week I'm gonna have a new co-host.
maybe
Which time?
Twitchy Tom, you on the same?
we might
boat.
need to.
Hey Langston, you want to be another?
But Langston hates us.
Langston's a jerk.
Langston just said that he hates us. So why would he come over here? We have another person here that
need
wants
that
to kill
guy.
us.
Hey,
Larry
Mr.
down there.
Hey, Mr.
It's
Plum.
pretty hostile
Mr.
in this work environment.
Mr.
We gotta-
Plum, you want to be my next co-host?
Mr. Who?
Mr. Who?
Mr. Plum. Mr. Plum.
Oh, he's talking to you
You're wearing plum.
because of the hat.
Your color is plum
I'm
colored.
wearing blue.
That's
He's
plum.
wearing the Goodnight Games color.
This is blue.
He's plum.
Is it blue? Is it wait? Is it blue
My
and white?
name is Langston, and I wear blue.
And he's colorblind.
I'm wearing a New York Giants T-shirt
You sure that's not the Doyers?
and a
Wait,
sweater
that's not the Doyers?
with headphones, and I like basketball foot.
Yeah. So sorry to interrupt you guys, or sorry to sort of distract you guys. There's a lot of mayhem happening
Like
right here
politicians, we're
in
distracting
the
you
work
from
environment.
from the real truth.
But we are working on, or at least
Yes, we
production. Yeah, yeah. It's just that it might not be released, just depending on the milestone. Anyway,
That's right.
in order for us to sort of go back and maybe improve on some of the games that we have created, we do need this feedback. So Blitzbreaker is one of those that we are actively looking for feedback in. And if we reach a certain criteria or a certain goal with not only the sales, but with the feedback that we do have, we can work on creating a sequel that is far better than what we created last time.
In other nudes, pigs can fly. In other nudes, pigs can
Nudes.
fracking fly.
I don't like to say
I don't like
Take your
nudes.
shirt off.
Tom has nude pigs.
Get on the screen, shirtless.
No, why?
We need views.
I don't even know if they heard that. But no,
Langston says Tom needs to be shirtless and on the screen.
not on this stream. Not on this stream because
it's two colored brothers
Yeah.
right here.
And
Y'all
we're
put us
actually
in
getting
front.
close to an hour. So we need to
No,
make
we
sure
wanna make
that
this
where is this man going? Oh good lord.
They can. I don't know if they heard it or not, but I don't know.
Tom has left the building shirtless.
So as we said before, we're still processing the assets, as you can see, for the ETC1. In our previous videos, we would have sort of some of the functions for the ships or other things that we were working on at the time. But
Well, what I can do actually, while we're waiting still, I'll just show you some of the stuff that I was working on
okay.
previously. So a lot of the stuff that I do now,
deals with optimization and holding data.
So if I look this way, it looks like I'm looking. Is it this way? Yeah. If I look this way, it looks like I'm looking at your computer screen. All right, keep talking.
Are you sure?
I think so. I think this is the right angle, unless I have to turn the other way.
Let's see. Yeah.
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 All right. So yeah, keep working. I'll just
So-
nod and I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to the man that's actually behind me. Is the stream down? Uh-oh. We gotta get the stream back up. Stream is down. Bless you.
Not my sketchbook.
Why? Why did what? Why?
It says that we're still streaming.
Yeah, but it's frozen on when Tom was sitting there.
Oh jeez.
Right.
Damn, so they just missed like a while ago.
That's a minute. Yeah. That was like
Oh wait,
20
wait. Refresh your
I
page.
did. That was close to
Fuck.
minutes.
Or check the tube. I mean, yeah, YouTube is. Or is someone DDoSing us?
Yeah,
Done?
it's stuck. It's stuck.
It's stuck.
I gotta do that again?
Yeah. Probably. Well, we'll reintroduce you.
You don't even know. I don't like that. You don't even know what happened.
Oh, you're
I don't.
I have no idea.
So Alejandro just asked me, Kai, is Oda a god of Maya?
No.
What? Yeah, it is.
Alejandro, do you watch? Do you pay attention to anything?
And we, wow, holy crap!
You don't even know what happened.
It's
do
like
you?
a weird question. Who asked that?
Alejandro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.